Welcome, everybody. Now we're going to do something so amazing, but you're going to go and get to see the behind the scene where where I'm actually having a consultation with Elisa Hurt, who is the CEO of Hurtnpoet Llc. So sit back, enjoy, and if you have any questions, you'll know how to reach out to her later in the show. Elisa?
Hello, everybody, and thank you for this opportunity, Miss Empowerment Coach, Transformational Coach, and owner of Vision Made Magazine. And we have been working together for so long. I've contributed to your magazine, so I thought I wanted to do this so you and I have the opportunity to show how powerful and demonstrate how powerful both our platforms are for our businesses and entrepreneurs and organizations out there. So I appreciate this opportunity. And like you said, this is what I do as far as consultations for my corporate and entrepreneurs and organizations and everything. So what I want to do is just to, because many people don't understand elevation resiliency coaching from my end. It is definitely something new. It is Hurtnpoet Llc Elevation Chapter 2022. So I just want to give everybody the opportunity to understand what it's all about. I do a lot of posting, right? And trying to get people to understand. I am on Clubhouse. I am all over social media as far as posts. But I wanted to come live, and you and I have had this consultation, but I wanted to do like a behind the stage type thing, and just to show companies how important emotional intelligence in the workplace is. We are in a society now, we are in a world now that needs this. We're talking about emotional health, we're talking about mental health, we're just talking about overall well being of leaders as well as of their employees and stakeholders. So we're just going to get started right now. Emotional intelligence. Let me tell you what that is first. So, emotional intelligence is about the ability to be able to not only control and regulate your own emotions, but also understand and be able to comprehend the emotions of your employees or stakeholders. If you're not capable of doing that, it is so difficult to really sustain your business because IQ is important. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we all know what IQ is. IQ is so important, knowing what your business is, having that skill set to even open your business, to start your business. But if you're not emotionally intelligent, it could very well shut down what you work so hard for
Mm-hmm.
because you need your employees, you need your stakeholders to keep your organization going. Leaders have a lot to deal with, absolutely. So need they not only need emotionally intelligent solutions, resiliency solutions, but you also need to be able to share that with your employees and stakeholders. So now we're going to get into this consultation that you and I have had already, and that's why we are where we are now. So, incorporating the EQ skills into your annual planning process, I'm going to explain to you why that is so important. So, we're going to just go through this consultation. I'm going to ask you the questions, just like our consultation was, and then we will go from there.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
So, all right. Thank you for contacting Hurtnpoet Llc, Elevation Resiliency Coaching. Let me give you an opportunity to tell me a little bit about your business, about the culture of your business, and share what you feel resiliency coaching is about and how it can help your organization.
Absolutely. So, my business is Vision Made Media, where I am empowering women around the world to go after their what's next by kicking the what ifs and I can'ts in the butt. Now, it's so important for women to understand that it is emotional. It takes a lot of emotions to kick the what ifs and I can'ts in the butt. We are so attached to the norm. To come out of the abnorm is just, it moves and stretches us beyond belief. So with the resiliency program, which talks about the emotional intelligence is needed, for the perspective of just my employees alone, I need them to understand first to deal with their own personal emotions, and then understand how their emotions are attached to the clients that we will see further down the line. So
Mhm.
understanding the two is so important. So that was the reason why I came to your program for the resilient emotional intelligence, so my staff can understand the importance of first addressing their own emotions, and also then understanding the client's emotions, but also knowing that they do tie but don't tie so much together. So I'm excited about the program, and for my staff to see how it works so they can move and so we can build bigger and better places.
I love it. I love it. And that's exactly what my program is about. So you came to the right place. So sounds like the culture of your company is all about growing each other together, but
Absolutely.
everybody being on the right page in order to do that. Um,
Absolutely.
and if individuals have some things they need to work on to be able to, you know, hinder those barriers that are hindering them, you know, to move to that what's next, you know, with this program we can help with that. Okay,
Hmm.
so I'm gonna ask you, which of these seven C's of resiliency: control, competence, confidence, connection, character, and contribution, right?
Right.
Which of those resonates with your business the most,
I
or
have
at
to
the least?
I have to say they all do, because they all play a part in where the each and this depends upon one, when the clients come to us, where are they at in their stage of their life? May they be they're lacking that self-confidence, then we can
Mhm,
bring in the confidence piece. Or may it be that they are coming in and they have lost that self-control of because they've given their control to so many people around them that they've lost that self-control. So I have to say all of them plays a part into our organization, and then as well as it plays a part into the staff that I have, because the staff, each staff per individual, we're all different, right? We come
mhm,
in and we all bring different attributes to the table. So some of my staff members, they need to understand the control, and not giving all the control to them. They don't get to control the whole session. It is them and the client to understand how do they balance those two out, as well as then also even the competency, understanding what you hear, not what you
mhm.
hear. It's two different things, understanding. So for our organization, all of those components play a part to us.
And I love that too, because it is all of those pieces. That's why they are the seven C's, because all of them work together. And I like when you said that because everybody's an individual, you know,
Hmm.
some are stronger and two or three of them, but need some assistance in the others, you know. So
Absolutely.
and then when you bring all those parts together, then let me ask you that this with that being said, and many people ask me or have said to me, well, are you, when you started this business, do you think about what all leaders go through, and can you speak their language? In that it sounds like the focus of your coaching program is how lead the lack of emotional intelligence leaders have,
Mm,
you know. But
yes.
I would say this to them: the program is not just for the leaders, it is also for their employees. So what would you say to me as far as that goes, as far as the whole picture of the leadership of my executive development and performance managing coaching program? What would you say to that? would you say, would you feel as a leader that, oh, she's looking at us like we don't have emotional intelligence, and that's the reason our employees and stakeholders are failing? What would you say to that? If I, when I come to you and say, I think your overall program needs this, what would you say to that?
I'm glad you asked me that question. And ironically enough, a couple weeks ago, I still work in corporate. I had the same conversation with my boss, and I wanted him to understand that in order for our team to succeed, we had to have a successful leadership team, which meaning that you had to show that one, okay, we all have faults and we're not perfect, but let's go in this dig in the trenches together. But first, I'm going to show you my weakness, because then once you see my weakness, then I can connect to you. And that is as actually as creating that humanistic relationship,
Mm-hmm.
as well as that ties together. So when I say, when a leadership when someone comes to me from a leadership, I need for them to understand that we as leaders have to show the employees that this is one, what we're doing is not temporary. This is permanent, and we're building upon other blocks. So in order for us to get there, we have to be strong or stronger leaders. And that may mean we have to be vulnerable. But once we show our vulnerability to our staff, then you have the 100% buy-in, pay in into growing and succeeding and moving that building block to the next level. As in for them dealing with the negativity, or to the staff of saying, well, she's looking down on me, you go and tell, and then you explain to the executive staff, this is nothing about you. This is about us. See, us as
Mm-hmm.
a team can exceed and achieve. You and I as a team cannot achieve and exceed together. So then that's when you would go in and let your team know this has nothing to do with you or me. It's to do with us as a team. And this component that we're getting ready to implement into the organization is going to take us as a team to the next level. Then we can then implement it and bring the rest of the staff along with us.
That is perfect. That is perfect. And that's where I'm coming from, and exactly what I need the leadership team to understand, because that's what executives are all about. That's what leadership is all about. It trickles down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this step, putting the resiliency coaching into the planning process is all about. I think people don't realize, this has been around for, I didn't create this wheel. This has been around for years, but it was, I won't say it was frowned upon, but I will say people just didn't understand the significance.
True.
And I think now with the pandemic, I think now with the world of violence and the work and holidays are coming up, there is a lot of pressure. You know, people were at home during the pandemic, so a lot of struggles and demands and things like that, popped up, that people took for granted or put in the back burner for so long. They had to face these things. So that's where elevation, resilience, and coaching has come from. And I don't think I mentioned at the top to you, um, I would say I bring you over 30 years of experience in this. So I know what I'm talking about. I have been a leader in the corporate and nonprofit. I have been an employee, I've been a stakeholder. So I have years of experience in this, and I understand. And I too am a victim, but an overcomer. Let me put that out there. A victim, but an overcomer of situations where leaders did not demonstrate any type of emotional intelligence. And this is where Hurtnpoet Llc, Elevation, the next chapter 2022 has come. So, with that being said, I appreciate that, because that is so, 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 so important, what you just said. Now, there are 5 characteristics that make up a higher EQ in leaders and executives, right? as
Mhm.
well as in their team, right? That self-awareness, which you just spoke a lot of. There's self-regulation, which is all about, are you regulating your emotions? Do you understand? Are you aware of your emotions and those of your team? Motivation. The leaders have the strong responsibility of motivating their team. But are you emotionally regulated enough to be able to come in every day and do that? And then you have empathy. And that's all exactly what we're talking about. Just show some compassion for people. You're not getting taken, you're not getting taken advantage of. People are not picking at your vulnerabilities. They are celebrating your vulnerability because it shows that you care, right? And
Mhm.
social skills, interpersonal skills. That's just a given, right? So then I would ask you to ask me, why does this matter in the workplace?
Ooh, girl, that's good. It matters so important because I'll have to go still relate back to my corporate job. Our morale is low. And the low morale creates then low productivity.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
it goes down to low respect or no respect to to the senior staffing. So that is so important for all of those components to be emphasized to a leader or executive staff on how do they incorporate it into their team day-to-day team daily expectation, knowing that the goals are still need to be met, but how are they met with those 5 components in on the table? So I'm
That's
glad you're
perfect.
bringing that into the table, because a lot of management team is now facing with, okay, we're coming back to somewhat of a norm, but now the somewhat of the norm, I still have to have the expectations, I still have to have the goals. Not only that, I'm still having to be motivated. I have to have all those components that you said. So for
Mhm.
you to come in and teach an executive staff on how to bring that to the team in a in such a so unique way that it can be implemented into their team day-to-day life is so essential.
Yes, yes, that's a great answer. So demonstrating that self-awareness means that leaders and executives and such significant part of your team have they everyone has that clear picture of their strengths and their weaknesses. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, with that being said, how would you feel about moving forward from this point?
There's no question, there's no thinking about it. It's essential in order for Vision Made Media to grow to its next level. I have to have you part of the team. I have to have a coach that I know I can lean on and see, hey, this is what my team is missing. I need to bring that piece in so then it can help me elevate our team, our organization to the next level. So without any doubt, it is so necessary for you to be part of our team or any organization.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. So, what we'll do, we'll move forward and we'll talk again about how the coaching program works, how we come into, of course, now I am a virtual coaching platform. So, we'll come together to talk about how many staff you have, what's a good time to present, master classes and present the coaching program, paradigms that we present to the companies and organizations. Basically, we're looking at where we have coaching programs at least 2 times a month, where we come in and we offer these master classes to the leaders. And if you prefer, I mean, and in addition, if you would like, we would do program a masterclass for just your employee that will definitely work. And because let's face it, leaders have their situations and circumstances that they are responsible for, but I also want to give the employees and stakeholders an opportunity to vent their what's going on with them. They
So
need that. They need that. But
true.
leaders, they have a whole set of different standards that they have to also, have obligation to and be responsible for. So that's two different programs or two different options, solutions that I offer. And then actually, I'm also thinking about how I can. What I want to do is be able to get everybody together,
Mm,
and let's talk about how we can build that team together. I want leaders to be able to award and reward their employees for their strengths and how they can help them with their weaknesses, and
yeah,
how the employees and the stakeholders can help each other without the leader there. They can be strong leaders within their own right to how to grow that company. Because I think you said at the top of this consult how sometimes they just don't, they just feel like they're two separate entities,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
It may be on the executive level and the employee stakeholder level, but they don't, they feel like there's the disconnect. And everybody, they want, employees and stakeholders want to feel that they are intricate part of growing the business as well,
So true.
and
So true.
how the leaders can help them feel that way. So I appreciate you reaching out to Elevation Resiliency Coaching, and we are so looking forward to working with Vision Made Magazine Media. Because congratulations on that,
Thank you.
and I really feel that we can step up where you are as far as in that arena. So I would like to have a second consultation if we can, so we
Sure.
can go ahead and make plans to how make the plan for the year. We're going into 2022, so
Right.
I want to start working on how we can implement those master classes and webinars and things of that nature to just keep everybody up and going for the next year and moving forward. I
Love it.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Can I ask you a real quick
Yeah.
question?
Yeah.
Will you have a pulse? Will you do a pulse check on our company throughout the year? And then two, will you be, or is it possible if you would be willing to travel to our organization to do some one-on-one, face-to-face type of work?
If that's where your company is, that's where we would go with it.
Okay.
Because sometimes there are some people who I guess I would say that responds better
Mhm.
to one on one. So absolutely, we can do that as well. And to answer the first part of your question, yes, because that's why I asked you at the beginning of this, what is the culture
Mhm.
of your company? Because those pulse checks, because there are some companies, I mean, for you to come out and say, hey, we need this. There
Mhm.
are some companies that are, we don't need it. They're not, they don't have, they don't have any inclination of what resiliency muscle is.
Right.
It's no, we never heard of that. We don't need it. We're fine. But you got to realize, if you ask, if you do a poll, a poll that no one could see, it would
Mhm.
be discreet, but me, you will see that there are some that are not happy at all where they're working. They like what they do,
Right.
but they're not happy with you.
Absolutely.
And they're trying to stay there. They're working, but you're not recognizing the work. And that's why this matters in the workplace. This is
Absolutely.
why that poll, taking that poll, doing a survey, that's why that is important. And you could implement that yourself without me.
Mhm.
Just to get a feel of how your employees are doing. Because the well-being of your stakeholders should be on your top of your list every day. It should be on top of your list at least every 6 months. Do something to
Mhm.
see where they are. But I guarantee right now, if you have not done anything remotely remotely um, considering how your employees and things are doing, I guarantee you'll need the resiliency coaching program. Great
Absolutely.
question.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to. I know we were scheduled, and I'm looking forward to talking with you to move forward.
That's awesome. Talk to you then.
Talk to you then. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you. Bye-bye.